everybody. How are you today? Thank you for joining us for another edition of Loving the Skin I'm In. I am Demetra, Kaye, and I am here with Donovan, throwing rocks and hiding his hand, Sadiq. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about Jada, and we're going to talk about Mr. Keaton Jones. But first, I'd like to start off by saying, as always on Loving the Skin I'm In, we want to always talk about things that are going on in the Black community to promote awareness, love, understanding, in hopes of making us better. Now, speaking of making us better, I don't know how well that will transition, but I just like to say Jada Pinkett Smith, STFU. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the little acronyms on the internet,
Shut the fuck up.
See, I knew Donovan would come through. Can you say that again? Jada Pinkett Smith.
Shut the fuck up.
All right. And why am I saying that about Jada Pinkett Smith? Now, some of you guys might find that to be a little bit disrespectful, but it is what it is. Okay, so lately, or as of yesterday rather, Jada Pinkett Smith took to the Twitter, I guess it was, to express her
displeasure.
Thank you. I was really searching for a word. Her displeasure in that Girls Trip nor Tiffany Haddish were nominated for a Golden Globe Award. She was saying that, Tiffany deserved the accolades because it's a breakout movie for her, and again, she was super hilarious. And, Girls Trip, it earned $115 million worldwide. And so she also made a point saying that, I guess, whoever is in charge of voting didn't even watch the movie.
Right, they didn't preview it.
They didn't preview the movie.
But $150 million in today's economy and the way the movies are made, that's a failure.
Is it?
Worldwide, because usually when you go worldwide box office, they usually depend on China and things like that. $400 million is a good outing based on your budget.
But what about the type of movie it is? You know what I mean? It's, a movie about 4 Black women who, and for those of you guys who didn't see Girl Trip, I saw the movie because we actually covered this a couple months ago, and you said, please watch the movie so we can discuss it. I watched the movie, and this is just my take on it. Maybe I'm wrong. You can, tell me if I'm wrong. To me, I saw 4 Black women who allegedly were, well, per their characters, they were very educated. You had a doctor, you had a journalist, what was
an inspirational speaker, and a ratchet
friend. And a ratchet friend, right? Mm-hmm. Who, before she went on the trip, pretty much, told her boss off and cussed somebody out or hurt somebody.
And thinking it's cute, that right. Diva attitude. And I'm sorry, ratchet does not play worldwide.
Right, but so then, they ran around for the most part at New Orleans at the Essence Jazz Festival, doing the most ratchet things. Now, admittedly, yeah, there are other movies about people doing that kind of stuff, but I'm speaking about this movie because, as we know, Black people already have a lot of negative images out there, and so was the movie funny? It had its funny moments, but if you like me, and maybe, I am taking things too seriously, you're looking deeper into that. It's like, we already have Atlanta Housewives and all the other movies that portray Black women in a bad light.
Well, let me break you off real quick. Mm-hmm. Why don't we run a quick clip of Tiffany Haddish's performance, a little clip of it, and take a look at it now. And if it's funny to you, it's funny to you. But this is some of the cooning that we were talking about. So let's take a look at it right now.
I've been out the game for a minute. And I don't know what these young girls are doing out here to handle all that, but I'm not on that train.
Come on now, Lisa. I ain't never know you to back down from a challenge.
No.
Just grapefruit them.
What?
Y'all ain't never grapefruited before?
No. But I'm listening.
What you want to do is, you get a grapefruit, right?
Okay.
And you cut both ends off, as so. Then you cut a hole in the middle, like this, like a nice little tunnel. And then you place that on his penis, like this.
Oh.
Okay? Like that.
Oh.
Right? Now you want to squeeze and twist and suck, so then it feels like he's getting fucked and sucked all at the same time. It's like this. Show just a little bit, because that make him feel like a man, like he's killing your shit. Dude, this is a tickle in my throat. Now, you never ever want to do this with a pineapple. I almost died.
And good.
Yeah, I mean, so you guys can see that. You can make your own opinion about it. But as for me, I think black women, but I know black women have more to contribute to society other than the cooning. Is Tiffany talented? I guess. I personally don't find Tiffany funny, so I actually made a post on my Facebook page regarding Jada's rant about not being nominated and all this other stuff. And so
you were earning that hate.
But that's fine. It's my opinion, and I'm gonna stick to that. And as I said to one individual on my page, we got to get past the point of when a person renders their opinion. We got to get past it. Oh, you're attacking them, or you're jealous, or you're hating. It's an opinion.
It's like this show. It's an opinion. If you don't like what you're hearing here, you have hundreds of thousands of selections you can go to, and
right. And then you can always tell us the STFU,
right.
And it is what it is. I mean, it's an opinion, and so I just think we need to stop doing that. Oh, I'm surprised that you don't.
As a black woman, you're not supporting another woman.
So
I'm with her.
And then look what that got us. But see, if just because something is black, that doesn't mean we always have to support it. It needs to be black and conducive to us.
Okay, let me just rephrase this. Mm-hmm. You said that this movie made $110 million.
$15 million.
$150 million. And how much did Birth of a Nation make?
$7 million.
And Birth of a Nation told
it told a story about black people revolting against a very oppressive and horrific system of slavery. But yet, not only that, now check this cold piece out. I'm getting backlash because I'm saying that this movie was not for us.
Right.
Birth of a Nation was for us. And you know who helped tear that movie down? Black women helped tear that movie down.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a rapist. He's this and he's that. Listen, I'm not saying they shouldn't be entitled to their opinion. But that man was acquitted of that almost 20 years ago. But yeah, we as black women want to jump on the feminism bandwagon and try to tear another black man down. But ain't nobody saying nothing about that. But when I'm saying this movie about 4 women running around New Orleans, pissing on people and literally pissing on people.
And sucking dick.
And talking about sucking dick. You're going to have 3 or 4 dicks up in you. And, just loud and just the most. I'm wrong for that. But you know what? That's okay.
But a movie about empowerment and fighting back and standing up for yourself and knowing your history.
Right.
And positive.
Right.
A little bit more positive thing.
And I like to say this, too, for people who always say, but well, what about white people? What about this white movie?
We ain't talking about it.
Didn't say nothing about this white movie. Listen, half of these movies, probably 75% of these movies, I don't know about because I don't have TV, and I'm not a connoisseur of movies. I like to think for myself. But when we start to realize we as black people can never, ever try to be held to the standards of white people, then we're going to be better off. That's what's wrong with us now. We're so busy trying to, we're looking for validation with white people. Well, you didn't say no when the white people did. I'm not focusing on white folks.
Well, and the thing is, not everybody watches everything that you might watch at home. So you can only comment on things that you've witnessed or watched yourself.
Right. And so I just have 4 things to say to Jada. And then we can move on from this.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. Well, 4 other things, okay? So one of them, now this is just my opinion. You can say whatever you want. I might answer back. I may not. 1, Girls Trip was garbage for all of the aforementioned things that we just said. It was garbage, okay? Nothing helpful. And it missed me with that all this, they was teaching black women how to be, independent. And one lady had she had low self-esteem because a man was cheating on her and she found her worth.
But you also forget there was a mother in that movie that had 2 children that she left with her mother to go on with her girl.
To get 4 dicks up.
To go get 4 dicks up in her.
Right, so, but that's what people say. It was an encouraging movie, it's an inspiring movie. Okay, maybe it was all of that too, but I just couldn't get past all the filth. And again, I'm not a prude, but some things are just, But, that was wildly popular, and so then 2.
At $115 million, to me, that's
in a black market, that was wildly popular. For black women leading the role, I guess. Now, 2, this is probably where I'm really going to have to probably change my address. Tiffany Haddish is the female Kevin Hart. She's very annoying. I think she's a lovely woman. I've seen her in interviews, but her comedy and just when she's acting is just a lot. It's over the top.
Well, have you noticed that other comedian, Dee Springs, who was on Facebook, that got a lot of flashback from men and things like that?
Yeah.
It's almost the same type of, this diva added,
And it's the loud and the boisterous and the, just the ignorant. And
her little skinny ass booty.
Yeah. And somebody said that they personally know her and her sister on my page. It was defending her. Okay. And that's how she is in real life. And so
I'm sorry to hear that. If she's like that in real life, I'm very sorry to hear that.
And, again, no shade to her, but it's just, I'm responding to more or less to Jada's whole little butthurt feelings about the Oscars or the Golden Globes not nominating them.
Janet Hubert?
Where is Janet Hubert when we need her? Where is the OG Aunt Viv when we need her? Because I'm waiting on it. Listen, I'm waiting on Janet to come out and say, Jada,
shut the fuck up.
I'm waiting on it.
Because the thing is, notice Jada only comments on things that has to do with her husband or a movie that she might be in.
Right. So that which takes us to our next 2 points, okay? Jada, I don't know if you'll watch this. I don't know. You may not.
She does.
You think she does?
Yeah, she's from her. She used to live out here.
True.
True.
Jada, why are you looking to be validated by a system that will never validate you? Why?
Ooh,
the Oscars, the Golden Globes. I don't even watch none of that stuff. They don't listen. The year or two before, you was leading the charge on the Oscars so white because your man didn't get nominated. And I heard the movie wasn't great anyway.
That's why he didn't get nominated.
Right, but then I guess there was a lot of other black people that coulda, woulda, shoulda got nominated and they didn't. I'm like, y'all, almost made me cuss. But it's like, why y'all leading that charge? Do you really care that what white people think about you? Mm-hmm. And then the 4th point is create your own award ceremony. I know Jada and Will is packing a lot of dough. So if you're really that interested in being validated, and then listen, I was talking to Al this morning. Mm-hmm. Do you know that because he says, well, what about the BET Awards, the Image Awards? Half of them motherfuckers, excuse me, they don't show up to that. Right. But they'll show up in droves to the Oscars the Grammys, like and all that. But when black people have something, crickets.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure she's packing money like that? Because obviously, if she was, in my opinion, because Hollywood is about fakeness.
Well, I mean, listen, even if she was to go up the street to Lamert Park and get some little barbecue tables together, she could do that. Right. I mean, I'm not saying it got to be grand and illustrious and all of that kind of stuff, but she could do that if she was interested. But what she's doing, and unfortunately for black people, not all of us, we are so impressionable. So we got Jada saying, oh yeah, Jada must be right. They just be doing us dirty. Instead of saying, Jada,
shut the fuck up.
We need to start our own stuff. Let's stop looking for white people to validate us in who we are. So I'm done with that whole rant.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're really that rich, as you say you are, I don't see a Will Smith Studios. I mean, I don't really care for Tyler Perry, but he did build a studio.
And I want to know, why do we ever or never hear Will Smith coming out like Jada?
Because like the punk ass nigga that he is.
Ooh, now you do a big ass
and
rock.
I'm gonna throw a rock because I don't need my wife speaking for me. I'm a man. I'm gonna speak for myself, honey. Hey, stay in your lane. I got this. I should have been nominated for. You know what I mean?
Right, and then to that point is like, if you're interested in white Hollywood validating you, you might want to
shut the fuck up,
because then they're gonna think you're a nuisance, and okay, we're gonna have to blackball Will and Jada. In fact, let's get some of these broads out here to say he touched them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If I was Jada and I was interested in white validation, I would just be quiet.
Right. And another thing about Tiffany Haddish, maybe she's funny to some people, whatever the deal is, but what she's doing is actually stereotyping herself into the only role she's going to be able to get.
And promoting that stereotype about black women and that we loud, we boisterous, we nasty, it's
only going to carry you so far.
Right. We can't think outside of, our own minds. And
they were over-sexualized.
And so, I mean, was it a great movie? No, I could say it was garbage.
It wasn't. It was garbage. I saw it. I and you know me, I was in the military, so, vulgarity doesn't really bother me too much. But that was
repeatedly
too much. I've never saw a mother that is a nurse or a doctor, whatever her role was, that acted like that. just never saw it. It's not reality.
Right.
You know, so.
But we supposed to just, it's all in fun. We chuckling it up. Like, listen, black people got bigger fish to fry. And, some people say, D, you're too serious. That may be too serious. Trust me, I know how to laugh, all right? But I also know how to watch something and say, okay, there's more to it than this. Like, we got to ask ourselves, why is it when we are, I said we up there at the Oscars, nominated for an Oscar.
I'm a seat filler.
Because you're a thespian. So
I'm a seat filler.
You won Oscars for being a seat filler? The best seat filler goes to Donovan. Think about the things that we are nominated for. Yeah. When we win the Oscars, pimps, hoes,
right, gangsters, corrupt policemen,
all of that.
I showed my breast in a movie, Swordfish.
Right, mammies and butlers. Right. So that's what they're validating us for. So that's really all I have to say.
Yeah, and again, to me, it's your opinion. You hit a lot of things. If you guys don't, you guys want to see what we talked about when that movie originally broke out, go to Demetra's page. It's on there. It's on YouTube. Check it out. If you agree with us, you agree. If you don't agree with us, you don't agree with us. But it isn't like her opinion is supposed to change after you saw the movie. Has your opinion changed?
Or that I got, some people coming at me, oh, you're wrong, or you're a hater, or, you don't support black women. Motherfucker, how I'm not going to support black women? I'm a black woman.
Right.
If anybody going to support black women is me.
Right.
But I think nothing says I support you, black woman, than to hold black women accountable and saying that, listen, we are the standard. We need to stop trying to follow what white women are doing, because that's why we in trouble to this day. Because we done follow a whole horde of white women into their nonsense, and now we don't get along with our man because we so busy trying to do what white women
Wait, you don't get along with your man? Y'all don't even have a man.
Well, I got a man.
Well, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean?
Right.
You don't even have a man. And nobody wants to deal with you because of these stereotypes out here.
Right.
I don't want a woman that acts like that. I mean, I like Ratchet. Everybody knows I like Ratchet.
And speaking of which, and then we weren't even going to talk about this, and I promise you we're going to get to Keaton because, it's kind of trending a little bit. Omarosa just lost her job.
Just lost her job, talking about she is going to pursue other opportunities. What opportunities?
And you know what? When I read that article this morning.
What opportunities?
But you know what I read?
You can't come to the black community, and the white community just got rid of you.
And then you cussed out Ed Gordon up on their little black journalist thing.
So what opportunities are you going to have?
Is Backpage still running? I don't know. but okay, when I read the article, this is what I read.
Okay.
Omarosa, we are sick of your shit. Because they talked about how when she had the wedding, she acted an ass with a wedding party in the White House.
Oh, she did a Star Jones type thing?
She did that in the White House, and she was causing a problem, and they said that the staffers there were glad to see her go, and they said it's about time, and all this other stuff, and you guys could get mad at me, but I thought that's another popular, boisterous black woman doing what they do.
Showing the door.
It's showing their ass before they're showing the door. And so we as black women, not that
You're losing.
She doesn't represent us, but then to white people, she does represent us.
So
not that we care.
Star Jones has never been the same since she acted an ass at her wedding.
But so at some point in time, listen, I don't mind people holding me accountable.
Sure. I hold you accountable.
Yeah, and now, I'm not necessarily saying that I like it all the time, but like my mom, God rest her soul, she says sometimes when people say something to you, you're not going to like it, but you got to ask yourself, is it true?
Right, and why are they saying that?
Right, is it true? If it's true, do what you got to do to make yourself or the situation better, and then shake the shit off.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I just thought that's another example of a black woman in herself up out of some shit.
And that's why we don't want to deal with you. We just don't want to deal with you. So that was a good point. But moving on today, thank God, the people of Alabama, you did the right thing. But I have something to say about it. Doug Jones did win by the slimmest of margins. I believe it was 20,000 votes.
Yeah, it was like 49%.
So I'm bringing that up to say this. If it was that close, what does that tell you about what is going on still to this very day in the South? And Doug Jones, no shade to him or anything like that. People got to remember he's a conservative Democrat. Joe Manchin from West Virginia, he claims to be a Democrat, but he votes with the Republican agenda 70% of the time. And he's going to be primary coming up. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Does it make a difference in the Senate? Possibly not. So it is what it is. But, we have to start waking up. And for Doug Jones to win that election, like we've always said on this show, and you can go back and look at our videos, we've always said that the black vote is the deciding vote. For him to win, he had to come up with 25% of the black registered voters.
You know what he got?
30.
Of the black registered voters?
Yes.
Well, because this is the
what
numbers that I have. To your point, because you're like, it's very telling that he barely beat out an alleged child molester, pedophile,
racist,
sexual, all of these, anything you can think of. He was all at it. It was proven. Some of the stuff came out of his own mouth.
Yeah.
Backed by the president of the United States. Not that, back in the day, you could say the president of the United States and that meant something. But now it's like, well, it's Trump. But so black women voted for more only to the tune of 2%. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Black men, 6%.
Right. And
white women, 63%. White men, 72%. Mm-hmm. So to me, when I saw those numbers, I thought, and so they call black people uncivilized. More than half of white people thought that Roy Moore was an acceptable choice to represent them. I know it's Alabama, and Alabama's very racist. I know that. But I'm sure Roy Jones. Why keep on saying Roy?
Roy Jones.
Right. Roy Moore wasn't going after black women.
Right.
I'm sure he was going after white women. And white women overwhelmingly voted for this dude.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? However, white women are overwhelmingly unseating every damn body in Hollywood.
Yes.
And in between.
And in the Congress, because the person that is going to be replacing Al Franken is the lieutenant governor of the state of Minnesota, and that's another white female.
Right. But to me, it's just ironic that, on one hand, all you white women voting for this child molesting, pedophile, sexual abuser
of young girls,
but yet y'all rallying for Me Too. Oh gosh, this is horrible. Well, Harvey Weinstein he's a horrible man. So it's like, which one is it?
60-something% of white women voted for Donald Trump,
and then probably more than that are rooting for this man.
Right.
Even after he released that tweet yesterday talking about what's her name, Christian Gillibrand, basically saying she begged, came in my office begging. He put it in quotes.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what is you saying?
Yeah.
Why not just call her a hoe?
Right.
Just get it over with.
Slut shaming.
Yeah, and I don't think he did Roy Moore a favor with that.
Yeah.
I think that was probably
And then it's just funny how the president says then, well, I told you he wasn't going to win the primary. I told you that, he wasn't going to win.
And then, the fool is he's not conceding.
Yeah.
Because there's some votes coming in.
Yeah. In Alabama, for a recount to be triggered, it has to be less than 1%. I think within 0.5%. Yeah. The guy has a margin of bigger than that. It's like, that. So it's like,
sit your child.
And of course, he's going to go to the evangelical idiots. And God's going to sort this out. The battle's not over.
But check it out, though. To that point, I think it's an indictment that he didn't win, even though it was a small margin that he won. That Roy didn't win on Donald Trump and on all of the people who were these big figureheads that supported him, like you said, the evangelicals and even the dumb black pastors. I almost said something that, I'm trying to be better. Y'all sit up there, well, I believe in him and there's no evidence. And it's like, how much are you getting?
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, now that the election is over and it's pretty much over and done with, people are now coming out saying, yeah, I really believed he did do it and all this other stuff.
But you cashed the check already. And ain't no more Coonan checks coming in.
There you go.
And so now all of a sudden you got to get on
and
the
now
team
the proof
that's
is
winning.
coming out. Now the proof is coming out.
Right. So it's just, what's really going on?
Yeah, and all the Republicans are like, whoo, we don't have to be that around our neck and the next thing. And that goes to show you that these representatives, they do not represent you. They represent their donors. And all these congressmen and people, all they care about is the next election.
They represent us.
Mark Chicano, he does it. Anyway, but that's all they care about is the next election.
Right.
Am I going to be here next time? So, and then now, with all the sexual allegations being put to the front, a lot of these congressmen are starting to sweat because,
because they know they didn't touch the booty too.
So some chicks are going to be coming out. So we might have a big turnover in 2018. of congressional people. So we get ready.
And you know what, though? I guess it's a power grab for white women because it's primarily, I know,
Yep.
and this is the cold part. You know the cold part? A sister is the originator of the Me Too hashtag. Mm-hmm. They left her black ass off the cover and put Taylor Swift and all these other white women because that's really who this is about. This is about white women.
It's always been about
right. And so the very woman that society has put, no shade to white women, I got white friends, but society has put white women up on this pedestal, and the white men has, demonize Asian men, black men. They stopped the whole marijuana thing and cocaine thing back in the day because it made black men and Chinamen, more virile for white women. Yeah, so y'all protecting these white women, and here we are in 2017, they throwing y'all asses under the bus. So now listen, I'm not saying that they didn't touch a couple of women. I really believe a lot of those allegations are true. However,
but a lot of people are looking for a payday because there ain't no jobs out here.
You came back with this shit 30 years later. Oh, yeah, I remember he touched my booty.
Yeah, but it wasn't a problem 30 years ago.
And even to the point they was like, well, if I did, I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Right.
Right.
Or like Al Franken, I don't remember it that way.
Which, and you know what?
I'm a comedian, so I'm going to go
I might get some hate, and I think a lot of those guys probably did mean it that way. Hell, if I did that to you, you can go and say, did you see she groped me?
Ow, did you see that?
She groped me and it was on camera.
Yes. So, it's just sad. So, again, we're going to have a big high turnover coming up, and I believe more allegations are going to come out.
Oh, we're just at the beginning of this.
Regardless, I still love you, Becky.
But you see, you see they got Harold Ford Jr.
Yeah. Did they?
They got him.
Damn.
Now, this is a couple years back as he worked at
Maryland. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Some lady said that he was advancing on her. I guess she sent them an email. And in the email, he said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. My apologies years ago. So,
and he was a rising star.
But he was like, I'm sorry, I didn't see it that way. So to me, this email was years ago. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to come off that way, to me, that doesn't really say that he
did anything.
Yeah, but now, all of a sudden, all these years later.
Well, look. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I'm just going to say it.
They don't talk about me like that.
No, I'm just saying. Look, I'm just going to say it because it's going to come out sooner or later. I've done some hellacious stuff. I'm admitting it. It's out there. So if anybody comes out and says he touched my booty, he did, it's probably true.
I did it. I did, but I did not penetrate that moment.
Exactly.
I did touch her booty, though.
Yes, I did. And if the woman that's saying it is not quite to my standard, I'm gonna be like Trump. Look at her. Okay. Look at her. No, come on, you guys. Look at this chick. Come on, she's missing a tooth. She's missing a tooth.
Donovan.
And you guys see what I roll with. I mean, I roll with monsters. So there we go.
I don't even know where to go with that. How about we just transition into the next story of Mr. Keaton Jones? Okay? Keaton
Jones.
Well, he sounds like a brother, right? But he's not. Yeah. Keaton Jones, he's a little white boy, 11-year-old white boy who was bullied. Now, this is the story that came out. He was bullied at school, and so his mother picked him up from school, and he got in the car. He was crying, I guess, and she filmed him talking about his experience as being bullied at school. He was saying, I'm paraphrasing, make fun of people because they're different. They talk about my nose, they put food on me and pour milk on me and all this other stuff. I wish it wasn't that way. And so the video went viral. Everybody and their mama jumped on it, including, and I made a list here. And, actually, I wanted to say this kind of title this as, when you see a sucker, you lick them. Because remember Snoop Dogg came out with that about China, Black China with Rob. What's his name? Rob. You was a sucker. When they say, when you see a sucker, you lick them. So all y'all people who fell for this nonsense, y'all some suckers and you got licked to the tune of damn near $60,000. All right. And so the video goes viral and you have people like, let's see, who was in on this? You had people like Cardi B, Justin Bieber, LeBron James, Jordan Peele, the creator of Get Out, Snoop Dogg, just to name a few people came to his defense. Oh yeah, little fella, and he said something, I'd like to meet you, and all these people said, come out to my set, my game, or and a lot of some of the Tennessee football players, brought him, went to school with him, and all this other stuff. Now, okay, I had a little head bobble going on like that. Now, it came out that his mama is, possibly a racist on her page. And I don't think this necessarily makes her racist, but she was standing next to the Confederate flag. And she has some pretty choice things to say about, let's see, let me tell you exactly what she said. She was talking about people and Colin Kaepernick in regards to not standing for the national anthem and the American flag and all this other stuff.
Fire his ass!
Due to the brutality of black people. Now, what she said was, "Dear butthurt Americans, if you aren't bleeding," I got to put the twang on there because they're from Tennessee. "If you aren't bleeding, no bones sticking out of you, and you can breathe, stop crying. For the love, some folks clearly never picked the switch. And before y'all start talking to me about metaphorical and emotional and financial and historical blood and brokenness, don't. Join a group." I don't even know what that is. They said the internet detectives got on the case. Got to dig, because that's what they do with us. A black man gets shot in the back, they want to dig all up in his history. Back in 1772, he didn't pay his child support.
Yeah, a quick thing. Is she going to give back the money?
Well, she's claiming that it wasn't her to set up the page. It was somebody else that did it.
She's going to keep the money.
Some MMA fighter, he made a video saying that he called her or they talked somehow. I don't know if they called on Instagram. And he wanted to fly the boy out to L.A. to watch him fight. And she was like, "No, if you can just send the money and share the GoFundMe page, that would be great." And so he was like, she just wants money. Now, the authenticity of the page has been in question. So I think he since deleted the video, but that went viral as well. So people got to digging in. The mama, she's, as my nephew would say, she really embraces her white roots. As no shade to her, you should embrace your roots.
You are who you are.
But I just think there's just a lot to say here, right? So there's just 3 issues with that. Now, wait. It also came out that the little boy wasn't technically being bullied. He just got an ass whooping for calling kids niggas.
Right.
And so was, listen, you call me a nigga, I'm gonna whoop your ass too. I mean, I'm just.
Yeah, remember when we were coming up? I mean, if somebody said nigga, it's proven that the kid said that, you didn't get in trouble back in our day. That was like, okay.
He had that ass whooping coming.
But I'm talking about like us getting in trouble for whooping his ass. No, I was like, no.
See, we would get in trouble, we didn't whoop his ass.
Exactly.
So, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that, I don't know if any of all this is true, but let's say if he is getting bullied, nobody should ever get bullied. So I'm not saying that there's a reason to bully people, but I think people need to do one, or if not 3 things that I have here, okay? 1, in the words of Snoop Dogg, don't give that, and the people who gave their money and time to this are suckers and you got licked, including Snoop Dogg. 2, is that people are too quick to act without facts. Oh my gosh, this is a white boy.
He's just Wait, can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
What you just said is exactly what white America says about us when we see these Negroes being shot down in the street and stuff. We haven't seen the whole video.
Right, we haven't seen the whole video, and maybe he said something that made the cop mad.
Right, even though we see the cop placing the taser, the evidence next to
maybe he had maybe the victim told him to place it there because and he didn't place it. It fell out of his hands.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of we try to be fair here on both ends. So,
right.
So what goes for what we're saying to white people, we're saying to black people too. You got to look at the facts first.
So. But that's people in general. We are so quick to act. We see a video of a little boy who's hurt and he allegedly was bullied, and everybody pulls out their wallets and they want to donate all this money.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off on that one, but here's what I don't understand. You can see a video of a black kid going through all kinds of stress and strife every day, and I don't see Snoop Dogg or anybody picking that black kid up, that black girl up, and say, come to my concert, or let me talk to you, or whatever. But when it's the white kid,
all the tears get to flowing. Okay? And so, then 3 is that black celebrities, to the point that you just made, and everyday black folks are always caping for everybody else.
But are their own.
I mean, is there still slavery going on in Libya?
Yes. Absolutely.
What happened to all the hashtags and all this outrage? I couldn't scroll down my timeline, you guys, without somebody posting a bloody picture of a Libyan slave and all sort of stuff. And that lasts for about a week, and I haven't seen it since.
It's what's hot at the moment.
Right. And then so to your point, little Ashanti Davis took her own life about a week ago by being bullied. She was being bullied, so she killed herself. I think she was 10.
Yep.
But her story didn't go viral, and her as a Negroes didn't run to her defense.
Right.
Okay. And then also little Rosalie Avila, who was from out this way,
out Inland Empire,
hanged herself because she was being bullied. A mass amounts of celebrities didn't take to their social media.
Right here in Hollywood. Hollywood is 60 miles away. I didn't see not one celebrity come out to have condolences with her family or anything of that nature that I'm aware of.
So what's going on here? Well, I mean, why is that?
Well,
why?
If I need propaganda or I need to promote myself, and it's hashtagging, that's the quickest way, right? To make myself relevant, because let's face it, I never did like Snoop. I mean, his deadpan rap. I mean,
I like Snoop, but I think sometimes he just,
No matter what song he's on, his rap is the same. It doesn't matter. But you're a 40-something-year-old man. Your rap career is over. That's why he's doing game shows now and stuff like that. His rap career is over.
Him and Martha Stewart thick as thieves.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But he was this gangster, whatever. It's total bullshit. I mean, me, I'm more street than Snoop.
You a gangster?
No, I'm more gangster than he is. But it just goes to show you that these people they do anything to sustain their relevancy.
But we saw this a couple of weeks ago as well with what's the little girl's name? Centoya Brown.
Yeah, what happened to that?
We saw that was not even 2 or 3 weeks ago. She was trending. All these celebrities went up.
Yes, free Centoya
all this
Brown.
injustice was going on, or injustice rather, was going on with this little black girl. They were talking about it like it just happened. It happened over 10 years ago.
Over 10 years ago.
And if you really did your research, you're like, well, I mean, she admitted to murdering the dude.
Right.
The dude was asleep.
The forensics proved that.
So did she deserve to be tried as an adult? No, I think
they
should try her as a minor. But
and by the way, we did a show on that.
Yeah. But where is the hashtags? How's Kim Kardashian coming along with getting her lawyers to look into it?
No,
what did they find?
No. Kim Kardashian is too busy bootlegging designer stuff for her children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's...
Well, that probably takes precedence over, Centoya Brown at this point. It's
a
always
going to go
back to the money.
Incarcerated, yeah.
Right, so... And listen, I'm not saying anything. I just think it's like when you speak truth to power, you're the bad guy. Always. If you don't go along with the fluffy, feel good, everything, and it's just, ignore the facts, and
Mind control.
let's just go along with the herd of sheeple, then there's something wrong with you. I guess. I mean, I never prided myself on being average, but I don't think you should be considered average because, or not average because you think outside the box. I mean, I don't know, but all these people gave all this money. And then they gave all the money before. I mean, somebody did the research to find out about his mama and what really happened to him. Why couldn't you have done it? Because me personally, like this one guy, he was on my page posting about this all day, 2 days in a row. He's posting about it, actually making fun of the little boy, putting little characters. I said, listen, you're no better than if he was truly bullied. You're no better than the people who were bullying him. I said, his mom is the one that needs to be dragged. I said, but as far as making fun of the little boy, I mean, how does that make you conscious?
Right.
I said, me personally, I didn't talk about it at all on my page. Right. Yeah, you guys don't want it to get attention, but you ranting and raving about the shit all day long. But it's funny, I didn't see you say anything about Ashanti Davis or the other little girl. I didn't see you say anything about them, but you want to dog this little white boy out. I said, dog his mama out, because that's where he's learning it from.
I have a question that just came in, and somebody's saying, we talk a good game, but what are we doing about it? Let me answer that.
Go ahead.
I will tell you what we're doing about it. We do this show to inform you what the hell is going on.
And I like to ask this listener, what are you doing about it? Because this is what I find. I find that people who always want to throw that blanket ass question out, well, what are you doing? I think when you ask that question, you should follow that with what you're doing instead of trying to indict people who are bringing awareness. Where is your show? Where is your platform to say what it is that you're doing? So I'd like to bounce the question back to them. What are you doing? I'll answer the question while you sitting up there typing the question, if you are so bold to do that, is I take an hour to 2 hours out of my Sunday for the last 2 years to have a show that brings the issues about our people to different people who want to have that discussion. I am not constantly, and as a matter of fact, I never coon or try to appease white people. I try to bring the truth about us, and no, it's not always pretty, but it needs to be had. In addition to, I do put my money where my mouth is. When you don't see me on the show, I'm reaching out to people in the community and doing my part. There's a lot of people who can vouch me. Go see me on Facebook. They'll tell you that Demetra is involved in the community, doing this, that, and the other. See, I'm not one of those people who are, see, now this is where that gets my chest behind. Because I'm not all one of those people who's doing it for the media, who's doing it for social media. I ain't got to post about everything I'm doing. And for y'all Bible thumpers, it says when you do something for other people, specifically the poor, you don't talk about it. You don't get on social media because
and you don't expect.
Therefore, it's not because it's not for them. Now it's for you. You're taking the glory off of what God is doing and you're putting it on you. And so I'm wanting to know if you're ready for what it is you're doing.
You've been hanging around me too long. Okay? Because that's something I would do right there.
No, but I'm saying I really dislike when people do that.
Yeah, they
because they think that you're going to sit up and say, well, nothing. And even if I wasn't doing nothing, do you think I'm stupid enough to get on here and admit I ain't doing nothing? Listen, I've been around a long time, whoever this is, and I know how to shoot the gift. I know how to play the player. But I'm about mine. So, I mean, I doubt that they will respond with what they're doing for the community.
Of course not.
Because that's what those type of people do.
They listen and want us to do it.
Right. Or they want us. Basically, what that question was, y'all ain't doing shit. That's basically what that question said. Y'all up here talking a good game, but y'all ain't doing it. And Donovan, you don't even need to speak about all the stuff you doing. You see what I'm saying? But those type of people are not conducive to the black community. I don't know if they black or not.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't doubt it. It probably is somebody black because it's usually black people like that have low self-esteem and no knowledge of self that want to indict other people who are trying to make a difference while they sitting on the sidelines hating and throwing rocks.
With their Obama phone.
Exactly. Talking about they about to cut off my old Obamacare. I don't understand it.
Right. And then they don't know what's happening. Wait, what do you mean I'm losing my health care?
Right. But you won't get involved.
Right.
Hell, shit. I mean, just one of the things me and you did together, we got together. We went from the ground up and put out a voter registration booth.
Sure did.
And what happened? We got, 3-4 votes? And you know where the voter registration booth was? At the Black History Parade. We set this up and we had Negroes walking by talking, I don't vote. I don't vote. So that's another thing that we were doing. We're trying to get people to vote so that their issues maybe, because I know that, how the whole voting thing goes, can be addressed. So what are you doing? And yes, I did get a ratchet clap. What are you doing?
And we did endure a bus ride up to the Capitol.
To the Capitol with a black organization trying to get some of the black issues addressed at the assemblyman at Lobby Day, and that was a whole buffoon and coon show that we would never ever do again. So I want to ask this person, what are you doing? I bet you $1 to a donut, a vegan donut, that they ain't gonna respond back.
Of course not, because what they want to do is get a reaction out of me. Really, I think the question was to get a reaction out of me. But I've learned with dealing with this young lady to be calm. Collected.
No, because I'm gonna be you know me a long time. You know I'm not one of those people who fake the funk that I'm sitting up here talking all this stuff and I ain't doing it. Hell, this ain't new to me. I've been doing this since I was a knee high to a pup, okay? And since now you got me going. When I was in high school, I started the BSU because my high school didn't have one.
She sure did.
I started that.
She sure did.
So what are you doing?
Absolutely. But that thank you for the question. Thank you for that question. We need more like that.
And you know what? I'm not even mad, to be honest. I'm just like,
she emphasizes.
Yeah, those type of people right there, they are, I'm assuming if they're black, those are the people that Marcus Garvey talks about. We need to leave them here. Leave them behind because they don't want a solution. They want to be the problem.
Right.
They want to hold on to the old, well, shit. You ain't shit. I ain't shit. We ain't gonna be shit together.
Right. I mean, and you're absolutely right. Again, how many? Just on this show alone, how many references have we told you of shows we've done? Here it is, months later, and we're talking about Jada Pinkett Smith and that buffoonery, elections of what's been going on. We talked about this months ago. Look it up on YouTube.
Right.
It's all there. So we're putting the information out because there's a lot of people that when I talk to in our community that says, I wouldn't know what's going on if I don't listen to your show.
And, you know, my dad always likes to throw the scripture. I know we got to go, but he says, you know, the Hosea 4:6. And listen, I don't even go to church, but I know the Bible better than most of y'all Bible thumping ass people out there. But it says, my people were destroyed for a lack of knowledge and their rejection of truth. And so we put the knowledge out, but people want to reject it and do clown ass shit like that.
Right. And like I said, drop the mic. Mic drop. Today in Black History.
Demetra Kaye with
Yes. Randy Watson, he was the first black entertainer to drop the mic after killing a performance. And I put that out yesterday, so that was a good one. I got to remind me to put that out later on today. But you guys, please tune in. Check out Demetra Kaye on Sundays, 3 p.m. She goes live and she does YouTube. And her show last Sunday went up yesterday. So if you missed the show and you want to see what she's talking about, please check it out. News from the Edgemont, the IE Informer. We just started thinking about what we're doing. We just started with a person. We told you guys we're going to do some money marketing to get people information about money tips. And we just started that last night. So
it's a work in progress, but it's going to be dope when it's done.
Going to be dope. I mean, it was his first show, and he did.
And that's what we doing for the black community.
So I'm Donovan Sadiq. This is Demetra Kaye. We're going to see you guys in the second hour. Stay tuned.